So, last week when I did, I think it was Friday, I posted, oh no, I guess it was Saturday. I posted a video about The Arrival, the movie, and I talked about how I was going to be going to the Best Picture Showcase on Saturday. And I had mentioned that I was planning on updating, doing a video for each movie. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do one video for all four movies. I just didn't have my battery on my phone was almost dying from using the GPS to find the movie theater, and so I didn't have much ability to shoot on Saturday. So right now I'm going to tell you what I thought of the four movies. First movie of the day was Manchester by the Sea. Um, Manchester by the Sea was very well done. It was one of the most depressing movies of the year, definitely. Probably one of the most depressing movies I've seen. Top 20 most depressing movies I've ever seen. Um, I don't think that should discourage you from watching it. I will say that as a parent, I think that my view on it was more depressed than if I hadn't been a parent. I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything, but I will just say that. One thing that I find, and this is a problem I actually find with most Boston movies, most movies that take place in Massachusetts, they feel the need to give every single character the thickest Boston accent possible. Now, I'll give you an example. I was with three friends who all of us grew up in Massachusetts. None of us have the accent. This was full on, pack the car, like ridiculous. Now, the accent wasn't poorly done, I didn't think, but it was just overdone, which I think is more of a problem than people want to admit. It didn't sound out of place. It just sounded, not every single person's going to have it. And it's kind of an irritating accent, and I know that people from here will hate me for saying that, but it's true. As for performances, I thought Casey Affleck did a better job than I've been hearing from some, because I heard some people say that it was flat, and I think that it had to be played kind of flat. I think it was a good way of playing it. I don't know that I would, I don't know that I would be voting for him for best actor on it, but it was a good performance. The Michelle Williams performance is the one that's kind of being hailed as most likely to win supporting actress, and people are saying it's such a brilliant performance. It's a good performance. I feel like it's like 3 minutes long though. I feel like there wasn't as much there as I was expecting based on the amount of hype it's been getting. And that's not anything against Michelle Williams. She did a great job. It's just a matter of, I think that people have been talking so much about how brilliant it was that I'm a little distracted by the fact that such a short performance, and there's just less than I expected. The Lucas Hodges, I don't remember his name. The Casey Affleck's nephew in the movie. Uh, he's nominated, I believe, for supporting actor, and he is amazing. He is one of the best performances in the movie. I think he's as good as either of the other two nominated performances, but he also provides a lot of the heart of the movie and a lot of the levity. Even though it's one of it's dark and depressing movie, there is a lot of humor mixed in to make it just not completely drab emotionally, and almost all of that comes from him, and I don't think I've seen much in that category for supporting actor, but I do hope that he gets taken seriously, because he's the best part of the best acting in the movie as far as I'm concerned. The second movie of the day was Fences with Denzel Washington and Viola Davis. Fences was really good. I enjoyed it more than the people I was with for the most part, but I thought it was really good. The big issue that I see is that you're watching it and you're completely aware that it's a play. One of the people I went with wasn't aware that it was originally a play, and he said that, oh, I felt like that should have been a play instead of a movie. It has that, and I don't mean just because it's all in one scene, or one location basically. Although that does make it a little true, but the way the monologues are written and the way the dialogue is written is more theatrical than cinematic. It does not ruin it for me. It's really well written. but it feels like a play. That's my biggest complaint. I think that Viola Davis is amazing. I know she's nominated for supporting actress, and it's really her performance. To me, I thought she was nominated for leading actress going into it, and I was like, she should win. She's, and then I realized she was nominated for supporting actress, and I don't know anything about the politics as to whether or not that should disqualify her or does disqualify her from that. I know it doesn't disqualify her, but I don't know if the people will vote for her, vote against her because she's got a longer screen time than most of the other actresses in the category, but she's brilliant. Denzel's good; he's always good. But Viola Davis is the performance of the movie. The third movie was Hell or High Water. Now I had seen the trailer for this like a year ago because it came out I think fairly early in the year, which is rare that kind of a movie that comes out in earlier in the year. It's rare that they get recognized because usually people forget about it by the time the Oscar voting comes along. Um, Hell or High Water was really good. I didn't know much about it going in. I hadn't, I'd seen a trailer like a year ago and didn't remember much. Didn't have much for expectations. Kind of thought, like didn't know what was going to happen, and I thought it was great. It is not necessarily the best of the five now that I've seen, but I will say it is probably the most rewatchable. I mean, La La Land, which I'll get to in a minute. I could probably watch with Sarah, but I think with musicals, I tend to, I have like maybe two or three watches and then I'm done kind of with them. I think that Jeff Bridges is kind of, he's got his thing. He's got that grumbly southern accent cowboy thing going, and it's good. He's won an Oscar with that, and he has been nominated now for two others with that thing going on. And I think that he's good in this movie. I think Chris Pine. I've seen Chris Pine in a lot of stuff, and to me, this is the most standout performance. Now, it's also probably the least dialogue he's ever had in any of the movies I've seen, but it's a good performance. His brother in the movie, I can't think of his name in real life. Yeah, I think he was good. He's always good. He's more of a character actor, and he plays crazy good. But I really think this. I like bank robbery movies and heist movies, and more I'm getting into westerns, and this is a modern western. But it was really good. It's really entertaining, and I don't think it has a chance at winning Best Picture because I think that it's ultimately not the kind of prestige thing that they're going to go with. But I'm glad that it got nominated because I may not have seen it otherwise. Lastly, La La Land. I didn't really want to see La La Land. I'd been hearing a lot of. First, you get all the hype and everybody's excited, and oh, La La Land's gonna be it's favored to win and all that. And then there's the backlash, which was it's a movie about jazz with barely any black people. Thought a couple things. I think it was better than the backlash, not as good as the hype. Somewhere in between. It was a good movie. I won't be disappointed if it wins Best Picture. I won't be disappointed if it loses. I think that Ryan Gosling's always good. Emma Stone is, I don't think I've ever seen her in anything where she's bad, but I haven't seen Birdman yet. So like I haven't seen much of her more, the stuff that's showcasing her talent more, and this was really good. I thought she was really charming in this movie. She just has something, there is something to her in this that I hadn't seen before. The music itself, it's not as catchy as a lot of other musicals, which to me makes it better in a lot of ways because I'm not going to be getting it stuck in my head and hearing it for 6 weeks, and there's not going to be it's not going to get overplayed the way a lot of other movie musicals, their music gets overplayed. And LA's kind of California in general, but LA is kind of where I've always wanted to live. And every time I see it on TV or a movie, it ends up being, I have a bit of a thing for LA, and so seeing the best parts of LA, and La La Land is really cool. So I've seen Arrival, Manchester by the Sea, Fences, Hell or High Water, and La La Land. Of the five movies, to pick which one I would pick for Best Picture, probably Arrival or Fences. Fences doesn't feel cinematic, but I'm okay with that because the writing is brilliant and the acting is brilliant. Arrival, I think is real. Arrival's another one where I think that it doesn't have that rewatchability necessarily, but it's really amazing. That's about basically my wrap up. I won't be seeing the other four movies that are being nominated or that were nominated probably before the Oscars. I really want to see Moonlight. I think that it looks amazing. It also looks like of the four that I'm not seeing, it looks like the one most likely to win. And it's kind of the one, from what I've heard, should potentially win. Have a great day. Let me know what you think is best picture nominee.